Welcome to the Widowed Mom Podcast, episode 316, Life After Loss, Grief Plateaus, and Dirty Light Fixtures.
Welcome to the Widowed Mom Podcast, the only podcast that offers a proven process to help you work through your grief, to grow, evolve, and create a future you can truly look forward to. Here's your host, Master Certified Life Coach, Grief Expert, Widow, and Mom, Krista St-Germain.
Hey there, welcome to another episode of the podcast. Before we jump in, I want to make sure you know about a brand new free workshop that I am teaching on Tuesday, June 17th, 2025, on how to help your children grieve even if they're grown. It will be 60 minutes long. I will walk you through how to be the steady presence your kids need without ignoring your own feelings in the process, and you will learn the 3 most common mistakes that widowed moms make even when they have the best intentions, because we all do, and how you can avoid making those mistakes. And I will teach you a very simple 60-second tool that will help you feel more confident and less overwhelmed. And we will cover what your kids actually need to feel safe, even if they don't want to talk to you about their grief. So if you can't make it live, we will send out a replay, but you do need to be on my email list to get it. So just go to coachingwithkrista.com and you can click on the grief assessment and take that, or you can just wait for a pop-up and eventually you will find a spot to enter your email address, put that in there, and we will send you all of the information on that free workshop. So again, it is June 17th, 2025, How to Help Your Children Grieve Even If They're Grown. It's something I haven't ever done a workshop on. I don't know why I haven't done a workshop on that, but I think it's time. So I hope to see you there. And if this is your first episode, welcome. I haven't really welcomed new listeners in a while, so welcome. I'm glad you're here. Just kind of a quick summary recap, which will help this episode make a little more sense to you. My husband, Hugo, died in 2016, and I pretty quickly discovered that what I thought I knew about grief was not helpful. It's pretty outdated and it's actually quite unhelpful. And so I kind of started doing, when I could read and retain information again, my own reading and my own learning. And I also happened to kind of stumble upon life coaching at the same time and post-traumatic growth. And once I learned things that actually helped me, like not the 5 stages of grief, other helpful things that I now teach on the podcast and in my coaching programs, that's when I decided to certify as a coach, and I quit my job and I created a business where this is what I do. I help widows love life again. That is the thing that I love more than anything. And I've been doing that since 2018. In 2020, I started dating right before COVID. In 2021, we bought a house together, the house that I am currently in. And about 3 months ago, that relationship ended in a super painful way, very abrupt. And now I am navigating a much different grief experience, including the unique challenges of betrayal trauma, which I didn't even know was a thing until then. So I have decided to list my house, to downsize to something more financially manageable. And to that end, I am refreshing Zillow like it's my job and prepping my big ol' house so I can get it listed. So this week, I painted the trim on the inside of my screened-in porch. It looks so much better. I painted my youngest bedroom after repairing all of the walls because they had every wall covered in all kinds of decorations. I planted some hibiscus near the mailbox, which is, I think, maybe the 4th plant I have tried near the mailbox. We'll hope this one sticks. I have been power washing all the things, which, by the way, is quite satisfying. If you have never power washed, get yourself a power washer. Today, though, there are professional power washers here. Hopefully they will not interfere with the recording of this podcast, but they are doing all the spots that I can't reach, all the up high spots. And my sweet dad has been trying to make my deck look better and doing a great job of it. And then later tonight, I am going to finish what I have started, which is cleaning the mineral buildup on the basement windows, because the sprinklers have all, with well water been building up on those windows. So I'm going to do that, all kinds of fun stuff over here. And the reason that I even had the idea for this episode in the first place is because of my light fixtures. So I was upstairs. I noticed that I had a bulb out in the sconces in my hallway upstairs. And I went to remove that bulb. You had to take the light fixture off the wall to do it. And as I was taking the light fixture off the wall, I just noticed there's kind of a film on the top of it. And I was like, ew, I should probably clean this. So I go downstairs, and I start washing these 2 sconces, and not only does the film come off, but what I thought was frosted glass also came off. It wasn't actually frosted glass. It was just dirt. that I didn't know was dirt. Now, all of my light fixtures match. They're all matchy-matchy. So the two that hang over the island and the ones that are in the breakfast nook and the ones in the dining room and there's sconces in the formal living room. So all of these fixtures, and the wheels started spinning in my mind, right? I was like, oh my gosh, does this mean that the lights over the island, which are these big, beautiful lights, have the same dirt on them? Is it possible that the spots I think are frosted are actually clear? And so then I started cleaning, and I cleaned every light fixture. And what I noticed is they looked completely different. Layers of dust and buildup had collected over time. And I'm sure some of it was already there when I bought the house, right? But in 4 years, I had never cleaned those light fixtures. I was cleaning the outside of them, but never the inside. And so I didn't notice that it was happening. And once they were clean, so beautiful, clear, bright, sparkly. I was like flabbergasted to the point that I told all my friends and I took pictures and I made a Facebook post about it, and I genuinely could not get over it. In fact, I couldn't get over it. And then I started feeling a little cheated. I started feeling a little bit annoyed because for the past 4 years, I could have been enjoying those gorgeous lights even more than I already was, like way more than I already was. And it made me stop and think about how many times we are settling with something that feels fine simply because we don't know that we have another option. Not because we chose what we have on purpose necessarily, but because we just didn't question it. I did not question that the inside of those lights should be cleaned. It didn't even occur to me. And I think that after loss, this happens all the time. That we get through the hardest parts, we get back to surviving, right? We figure out how to function again. And eventually we build some sort of a routine for ourselves and we kind of start to move forward, but maybe not always with intention, especially in some pretty key areas. And then that new version of life might not feel bad, or might not feel as bad as we once felt, but it doesn't feel great either. And maybe it feels flat, or maybe it feels heavy or disconnected or kind of empty or hollow or robotic. It's okay. We tell ourselves it's fine. This is just how life is now. I'm doing okay. I'm getting there. I'm getting by. Maybe this is the new normal that everybody talks about, right? And we just kind of stop looking for more. It doesn't occur to us to look for more, for what's still possible. And so if you have been feeling that way, like you're going through the motions, but it doesn't feel sparkly, like your spark is missing, then this is for you. I'm talking to you. And what I want you to know is that you have not lost your spark forever. It is still available to you. It is still there. You may have just adapted so much that you're living a life that's not as sparkly as what you're meant for. It's dimmer than what you're meant for, than what's available to you. And this is what I have called in my work a grief plateau. It's the best term I can come up for. It's not acute grief anymore. We don't feel like we're drowning anymore. We're doing what needs to be done, but we don't feel fulfilled. You're not dreaming. You're not fully living, feeling alive. You're not genuinely loving your life. And some widows will choose to stay in the grief plateau even when they know more is possible. Some will choose to break free from it. Some will just stay there because it doesn't occur to them that more is possible. And this is one of the main things that I really want you to hear, right? Is that more is possible. This is one of the main reasons that I coach widows. I love working with all grief experiences, but probably my favorite thing to do is to help women who are in that grief plateau place, right? Get back to genuinely loving life instead of resigning for something that's less than what they want. So I want to leave you with a couple of questions, if you're curious, some questions that you can sit with this week. Just let your brain marinate in these questions. Just kind of live in them. When was the last time I felt genuinely lit up by something? Do you remember when the last time was you felt genuinely lit up by something? Where have I stopped reaching for more? Not because I don't want it, but because I've convinced myself it's not available. Where have I stopped reaching for more? Not because I don't want it, but because I've convinced myself it's not available. And what feels fine or okay, but not really aligned with who I'm becoming or who I want to become? What feels fine or okay, but not really aligned to who I'm becoming or what I want to become? And then the last one, if I believed more was possible for me, what would I let myself want? If I believed more was possible for me, what would I let myself want? Are you letting yourself want more than just survival? Are you letting yourself want things that would truly be amazing by your criteria? I also want to say, if you get overwhelmed by these questions, that you do not have to overhaul or change everything at once at all, right? Sometimes it starts with just noticing the film on the one light fixture and being willing to wipe away a very small part of it. All right? This is the work we do in Mom Goes On, by the way. It is not forcing gratitude. It is not positive affirmations that you don't believe. It is systematically uncovering and then removing what's been getting in the way of truly loving life again. It is possible for anyone. Also, we have amazing scholarships. If you have been not applying for Mom Goes On because of the cost, maybe you don't know that we have amazing scholarships now. So definitely check that out. So if you're feeling stuck in a grief plateau, I would love to invite you to apply for a spot in Mom Goes On. When you do, you will get access to a free private training, which by itself is pretty dang good, if I do say so myself. And you can get that by going to coachingwithkrista.com and then clicking on the Work With Me tab. That's where you'll see all that information. So if this episode gave you something to think about or a little clarity of your own, would you do me a favor and either rate, review, or share the podcast? It is how other widowed moms find their way here, and I would be quite grateful if you passed it along to someone who might need it. Okay, that's what I have for you this week. Remember, I love you. You've got this. Take care, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. If you like what you've been hearing on this podcast and want to create a future you can truly get excited about even after the loss of your spouse, I invite you to join my Mom Goes On coaching program. It's small group coaching just for widowed moms like you, where I'll help you figure out what's holding you back and give you the tools and support you need so you can move forward with confidence. Please don't settle for a new normal that's less than what you deserve. Go to coachingwithkrista.com and click Work With Me for details and next steps. I can't wait to meet you.